we really talking about a swamp creature here? The costume design I found in the trash can explains what Burrow's black and white photo is showing me. My detective's intuition is kicking in. That black and white photograph, I'm not sure I'm looking at the real Boggy here, and I think these designs I found in the trash can might be the answer. I'll ask around, see if anybody knows anything about this. Oh, and I should start looking for the costume itself. If I can find that, there'll be some pretty impressive evidence.
I have something for you.
Another gift already. Where are you keeping all this stuff? You don't even have pockets in that dress.
I don't need a pocket to carry a key.
What key?
I don't know. You could try it on any door you like. Although, I recommend you try it on that office door.
Remington's office?
Mm-hmm.
Even though I have the key, this door has 2 keyholes. So, which key should I use in each one? The open window looks over the wooden planks outside. Oh, and on one side, a part of the curtain has been ripped off. An old hunting rifle, discarded carelessly near the window. This isn't the kind of thing I can ignore. Photos and paintings line the wall above the fireplace. But one of the frames is empty. Wait a second. What are these pieces on the floor underneath it? This photo is ripped, but it looks important. If I can piece it together again, maybe it'll reveal a secret. This photograph, it's a young Remington, and then some other men I don't know. They're all holding rifles. Maybe I can ask Harper about it. Something happened here. There are signs of a struggle between the desk and the window. Hunting memorabilia, claws, teeth. It would be an impressive collection if it wasn't so disturbing. It's a sharp metal poker for a fireplace, hidden in the shadows. Something about those 3 prongs. I feel like I just stumbled across an incredibly important piece of evidence. Have I uncovered a secret in here? The hunting photo is historical evidence that Richard Remington belonged to a secret society. I'm getting a strong feeling that Remington might be the bad guy in this story. If he wasn't already dead, I would have loved to ask him a couple of questions. I should ask around, see if I can gather any information about his motives for being here. Remington's desk is covered in drawings and maps and notes. It's all about Boggy. He was obsessed. An ink bottle was spilled onto his work. I'm sure he didn't do that on purpose. Yeesh, it's a bit of a mess. Perhaps there's something underneath those drawings. It's a note addressed to Richard Remington. The handwriting is immaculate. Richard, our man of the world. A little help is in order. We're worried that the efforts regarding our elusive little might be in vain. Send word when you can. The letter is signed FF. And attached is a blurry little picture. It's some kind of metallic insect. The whole thing is a mystery. I have no idea. It's the letter, and it's the whole Vincent Vanderpeer's business card. There's a couple of numbers scribbled on the back. It's a letter Remington was writing before something caused him to spill his ink bottle. My dear fellow, I received your note 2 weeks ago, but I've only recently found the time to do the appropriate research on the matter. I feel like my time in this awful swamp might finally come to a close, all due to the simple realization, the rest is obscured. What a tease. There's a map of the swamp lying on the desk. It's been annotated in a few places. These animals, they're not, I don't recognize any of them. These animals, an old hunting rifle. This isn't the kind of something happened here. There are signs of something there. I found these designs for a costume, a boggy costume.
Aha, the legendary swamp creature.
Yeah, that's the one.
But these are just a child's drawings, are they not?
You think?
Perhaps. It's difficult to tell.
You saw Remington last night, but had you met him before? Did you know him?
I've never really spoken with him, but we've come into contact a few times. Vincent likes to handle that kind of work, and I like to let him.
What do you think of this place? The tourist attraction, I mean.
I can't say I like the idea of a natural area like this becoming commercialized.
I know! I just can't understand why anyone would even try.
I think Mr. Remington had his reasons. He looked like a man with a couple of secrets.
Like what?
I have no idea. If I knew, they wouldn't be secrets.
What can you tell me about these designs for a boggy costume?
Nothing whatsoever.
You're sure you didn't see anything like this while you were filming yesterday? Wait, hold on a minute. What if
Don't you dare ask.
This costume isn't your doing, is it? Made for your movie, I mean?
My friend, there will be no costumed idiots within the viewfinder of my camera. I can assure you that.
What about your boggy movie? Isn't that gonna be, like, a guy in a costume, or a puppet, or one of those weird robot things?
Technology has been kind to people like me. We no longer have any need for such tomfoolery. I can create a perfectly believable swamp creature within the confines of a computer. Much cheaper, too.
I suppose you've met with our murder victim, Richard Remington.
Yes, I've been in and out of this place for a while now. Naturally, I've crossed paths with Remington a number of times. Good value, that one. A real raconteur, you know.
You liked him? So far, I'm getting the impression he wasn't the most popular guy around here.
Well, that much is clear, isn't it? The man obviously slipped up somewhere, made an enemy or two, and bam, that's that. You just can't be too careful, can you?
Yeah, I think he did have an enemy or two. Or three. But you liked him.
I respected him. Good head on his shoulders. Good business sense, that man. He understood how to make things work for him.
That museum is quite a nice building, which makes it look even more out of place in a swamp. Is it being held up on wooden supports? It's bizarre.
So,
I found these designs for a boggy costume.
oh, some ridiculous new merchandise for tourists to waste their money on.
No, I believe the murderer was dressed like this last night when they attacked Remington.
If they were trying to scare him out of the swamp, they should have spent more time making an accurate design.
What do you mean?
Well, this design is some bizarre hybrid between the real creature and the cartoon character. It simply hasn't been researched properly.
What's wrong with it?
Well, those flippers? Pure guesswork. Nothing but foolish imagination. Nobody knows what Boggy's feet look like. No footprint has ever been recorded.
So tell me, Special Agent Folder, how would you do a better job researching it if nothing has ever been recorded?
Oh, well, that's, I mean, it's all a matter of taking the time to... It's just that... But there's no way anyone would believe... Nothing but foolishness.
What can you tell me about your relationship with Richard Remington?
We didn't really have one, and now we definitely don't have one. But look, all I can say is that he was a coward who enjoyed watering down history for his own benefit.
What does that mean?
It means there are some chapters of this swamp's history that he never wanted anyone to know about.
Did he like you sniffing around this museum all the time?
I don't think he knew, to be honest. And even if he did, there's nothing he could have done about it. He has no right to this building. He knows that. We both know that.
Why not? It was part of his tourist attraction, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
I found these designs for a boggy costume. Do you know anything about them?
You're asking me because you can tell I'm experienced with needlecraft and sew my own clothes?
No, but that's a good reason. Let's go with that.
Well, these designs look like they should have stayed where they were.
In the trash?
On paper.
Oh, how come?
Whoever drew them didn't really know what they were doing.
You would have done it differently?
Of course. I am a seamstress. There was a time when I considered sewing my craft, my livelihood.
Really?
When Richard Remington arrived in the swamp years ago, I offered him some of my handmade fabric as a peace offering. I don't think he cared much for it. Most likely he threw it away. A pointless gift from some strange woman.
You've been here so long, you must have crossed paths with Remington a few times. What did you think of him?
That man was a threat to the swamp. We'll be better off without him. Hopefully the curtain will fall on his little tourist attraction as well.
Better off? With a killer on the loose now?
There have been murderers loose in the swamp before.
What are you talking about?
In my time here, I've seen the swamp invaded by men. By hunters. Several times. They're relentless.
What were they hunting? Wait, what about Boggy? Is that why no one has seen him in 60 years?
They always fell short of their ultimate goal. That just meant they came back again and again, doing more harm each time.
But this area is protected by law, right?
It is now, but some men have no respect for laws, of any kind. They tried to get me to leave my home here. I stood my ground.
Obviously. But this whole area is a tourist attraction now. I doubt Remington would have allowed anyone to march into Boggy's bog with a gun and start hunting down its main attraction. I'm indoors. What?
Someone made a costume to look like the creature. They must have known it would get a reaction for sure, but I wonder if they planned things to go this far.
When you're finished theorizing, I was going to show you these sketches I found in a trash can right next to your cafe.
It does seem like someone was designing a costume. A disguise, perhaps.
I don't know.
Try to think why somebody would do such a thing.
I don't know.
What could they achieve with it?
I don't know.
Not yet.
You said you knew Remington?
He and I knew each other for a long time. I came to work at his tourist attraction in the early days, when he needed help.
Well, what kept you here?
I know most people wouldn't want to work in a place like this. I actually like it here, so I was happy to oblige.
You might like it, but I still don't see why anyone would build a tourist attraction here.
Mr. Remington has his reasons. He probably had several. I don't presume to know what they all were. Even though we were friends, he had some secrets, some hobbies, that I was happy to let him keep secret.
Secrets? Hobbies? A secret hobby?
He was a man with a dream, I can tell you that much.
Brass. It's a humble gift shop wagon. Let's take a look. Bonky dolls, bonky toys, bonky postcards. Yeah, this stuff isn't half bad. Bonky doll. Brightly colored bonky baseball caps. Is there something behind them? What on earth? This thing doesn't seem to belong here at all. It's some kind of roughly made costume head, I think. There's a strange piece of red fabric stuffed inside. 2 clues for the price of 1, I guess. Brightly colored. Is there? Is a Boggy's Bog mug. Maybe I'll get one and surprise Officer James for Christmas. Boggy doll. Boggy. It's a map of the swamp. Mine seems a little older than this one, though. It's a framed drawing of Boggy. What a shame, it's not even signed. It's a photo of the swamp entrance. Or it could be a painting. There's really no way to tell, you know? Well, I wouldn't wear it. Maybe to sleep in, you know, not outside. Sorry to interrupt. I can see that you're, hard at work.
You weren't here yesterday.
Oh, no, I only just arrived.
You're the detective, right?
I'm a detective.
So, that was your head I saw blowing through here.
You spotted it too.
If you're good at your job, you may have realized that it's kinda dead around here. So, I generally notice magical floating detective hats. Oh, and don't worry, you look better without it.
How do you know?
Oh, I have a good imagination.
I didn't expect to see someone your age working in a place like this. I didn't expect there to be a place like this in a place like this.
I only started working here this year anyway. It's temporary. Just running the gift shop to earn a little extra money. Don't ask how I ended up here.
I'll save that question for a different day. You don't seem at home here, exactly.
I hate it. This place is disgusting.
Come on, you don't think it's kind of beautiful?
You would say that. You only just got here. You'll get sick of it.
If I wasn't here, I'd be stuck in my office doing paperwork.
At least at your office, you don't have to bring spare clothes every day. It's impossible to leave this place without being covered in dirt.
Challenge accepted. When you have a moment free from your busy schedule, I need to ask you about last night.
I know, but it won't help. I worked here during the day, then left my gift shop and went home in the evening, same as every day.
You just leave your gift shop here when you go?
No, I put it in my pocket.
Yeah, seriously though, as much as I appreciate sarcasm, I think I'd get in trouble if I wrote something like that down in my notes.
Well, look, you've noticed the gift shop has wheels and you're thinking, oh, she's pretty lazy to leave it lying around. But if you want to try pushing this thing through the swamp, be my guest. And I can't lock it up, so I just leave it here overnight. Nobody's ever stolen any of this lousy merchandise anyway. I even left my spare clothes here when I went home last night.
You left them here? By the gift shop?
Yeah, it's no big deal. They were all still here this morning. Kind of.
Kind of?
I think someone played a stupid joke, and my spare black leggings were covered in some disgusting swamp slime when I found them in the bag this morning. If you're going to take my clothes and mess them up, then just keep them. I don't want them back. You know what I mean?
I absolutely do. I have a theory that the murderer was wearing a costume, a homemade outfit designed to look like the swamp creature.
I've never seen anything so ridiculous. You've never seen me in that.
I know it's not exactly the latest fashion, but...
No, you'd never see me in that. It would cover me up entirely.
That's the point of a disguise?
Look, detective. When you have legs like mine, you don't want to be wearing disguises.
Is that why you always wear those black leggings?
You've only just met me and you're making assumptions about what I always wear?
And making assumptions is the fun part of being a detective.
Well, you're right. I always wear these.
So what can you tell me about your relationship with Richard Remington?
I didn't have one. I think I spoke to him twice, ever. He usually seemed really busy, but more like preoccupied.
Preoccupied? Like he was thinking about something else? Something that wasn't this tourist attraction?
Who can say? What do old men think about?
What? Are you implying that I know the answer to that?
They're mine, but I left them here last night. Now they're covered in slime, and I don't want to go near them. That is not something from my gift shop. I've never seen it before. I can draw way better than that.
Can you show me?
There's no time. Maybe in the sequel. I have no idea what that is. Where are you keeping all this stuff? In your pockets? I think the cartoon character is kind of dumb.
What about the real creature?
I've never met him.
Me neither.
Yeah, I have a pretty good view of him from here. Anyone supporting animal rights is okay in my book. His protest used to have a bit more energy, though. He spends more time inside his tent these days.
What's he doing in there?
I'm happy to say, I don't know.
There might be something I can ask Echo about. Echo spends less time holding the protest sign and more time in his tent. I wonder if Echo can tell me what he's been doing that's more important than his protest.
Ah.
What can you tell me about these designs for a costume? A boggy
It's
costume.
Boggy! I must admit, I've been a fan of his before I ever came to the swamp.
A fan? So you're interested in cryptozoology?
Oh, no, I meant, well, Boggy has been in all kinds of cartoons and comic strips. He's one of the greatest characters of the last 100 years. I've got some comics in my tent. You really should see.
But he was only discovered 60 years ago.
Oh, that's true. Well, I rounded up.
But what about his costume? Have you seen anyone wearing it?
I can honestly say I've never seen anyone wearing anything like that. And I'm a very observant person.
So what did Mr. Remington think of you? I mean, protesting in the middle of a swamp every day.
It wasn't his swamp. If he ever truly thought it was, then he was even more of a fool than he seemed.
But he didn't like you hanging around, right?
That man was exceptionally skilled at ignoring me. Ignoring anything he didn't like.
So, what, he just left you alone?
He expected me to get bored and go home. He figured I'd get sick of this place and he'd have it back to himself.
But he didn't want it to himself, did he? He wanted lots of people to come visit all the time, surely.
I'm sure it says that in the brochure. Yes.
I'm impressed someone managed to pitch a tent here. And I'm impressed someone would want to. It's a journal. Bad news. They'll shut this. They're.
Oh?
I heard you've been spending less time protesting recently and more time, in your tent. Normally I wouldn't pry, but it's my job to ask—
Untouched people have even noticed something like that. I usually get the impression everyone else is doing their best to ignore me.
So, you admit it's true?
You can put your notebook away. There isn't really any reason for it. Nothing worth writing down, at least.
Well, if it's not worth writing down, maybe it's worth hearing.
In that case, you'd forget it.
How do you know? Maybe it would echo in my mind.
Look, if you take a guess and get it right, I promise not to deny it.
Let's work out why Echo was hidden away in his tent. Notebook time. You've been in your tent because it's been raining!
Why not?
There's a book on the table. How fast? The tree. It even. Okay, even. Let's see. First thing we do is put the sample of liquid into the cauldron, then tap the faucet. And now, we just have to match the color of that liquid with these ingredients. Got it! Now I know what that liquid consists of. I'll write it down in my notes. Was that the same as last time? This was the exact same liquid. Let's see. First thing we do, then tap. And now... Got it! Now I know. Alright, what's going... That was definitely the same as the other tests. There's something about that green slime. The fireplace poker found at the crime scene and the black leggings are covered in the same swamp slime. Sally's leggings. They link her with the crime scene. I'll have to ask her about it.
You should ask someone else. Show it to someone who doesn't live. I'm not even sure who that... If you bring me something with liquid on it,
This is a 60-year-old journal. It was on display in a museum.
I know what it is.
I thought you might. I'm supposed to look to the past, right? Lady Weybridge was living in the swamp when the swamp creature was discovered by the explorers 60 years ago. Lady Weybridge. She was living here when Boggy was first discovered by the explorer.
You can put that away. I can't help you with it. No, thank you. If you bring me something with liquid on it, You can put that away. No, thank you. I recognize some of those men. Unfortunately, they've hunted in the swamp before.
Before it became a protected area?
Before that, yes, and one of them after that.
Let's see. First thing we do is put the and now we... Got it! Now I know what that liquid consists of. I'll write it down in my notes. A swamp slime. It's all the same. It's the exact same liquid again. I've been looking into the history of this place.
Oh, really? Did you find anything?
Yeah. You.
You must be confused. You found me today, when you barged into my house. Remember?
You were already living in the swamp when the explorer came here 60 years ago.
The explorer? That man they talk about in the museum?
The one who originally discovered Boggy. You know who I'm talking about. His sketches and notes are the only real evidence we have for this creature.
You already have his journal. You learned to read, I assume. What else do you need?
I think you wrote... Let's...
Oh, did
Yeah.
you found what?
You were all...
That
The... You...
you all
There's a page missing from the journal. I think you know where it is.
Why on earth would I know something like that?
Because you were the only person here when the explorer visited the swamp. I have a suspicion that the swamp creature wasn't the only thing he discovered.
You're suggesting he gave me a page from the back of his journal? Or what, that I stole it?
You took it from...
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You must. What?
You were all...
That.
The what? You... There's a... You stole... Hold on.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
When you
You were already living in this...
that
The... You know who I...
you
There's a... I really have no idea. If I could see it, I might be able to make up my mind.
It doesn't belong in a museum. It belongs here, with me. You understand?
What if I promise I'll return it after I finish clearing up this mess?
Then I'll show it to you.
Is this you? He drew you into his journal? It's beautiful.
60 years ago, yes. He left the page with me. We agreed the rest of the world would manage without it.
I think there's something on the back. What's this? Footprints.
he drew me into his journal. I was 20 years old. That's the end of the story.
I bet it's not. Does this explorer have a name?
Yes?
Are you going to tell me?
No.
A little blanket on a little... It may...
I don't know everything, I'm afraid. I can't help you. Why don't you show that? I can't help you with that. That's Mr. Remington's old hunting rifle. He usually keeps it around for whatever reason. He was very fond of that thing. Looks like it was fired recently. That's the same fabric from Mr. Remington's curtains. It's Mr. Remington's fireplace poker. The slime on the handle. It's familiar for some reason. One of Mr. Remington's secrets. I never wanted to know the details, but these men travel the world, seeking mysterious animals to hunt. They consider myths and legends to be the ultimate prey. Why don't you show that to... You don't know everything.
Do you talk to him much?
Not really. Sometimes he likes to talk, just casual conversation. He asks how business is going and what everyone likes to eat, nothing of real importance. You have a lot of suspects on that list. I don't know what to say. I don't know very much about them. You have a lot of suspects on that list. I don't know what to say. You're prime suspect, am I correct?
Well, technically, but I'm not even sure he's real.
Don't worry about that. Real or not, the creature's the most important part of this mystery.
Which one? The cartoon character or the real creature?
Exactly. He was a friend for many years. If you have any questions about him or his belongings, I may be able to help you.
Hey. Where are you keeping all this stuff? Is that one of your clues? It's nice. You can put it away now.
The black leggings you found in your bag this morning. They're covered in the same slime that was on the murder weapon.
Everything in this swamp is covered in slime. What's your angle, Grimoire?
Your black leggings were part of the murderer's costume.
Costume? Is that why someone took them out of my bag last night?
Well, you know, I don't have proof someone else took them.
If I had been wearing them when I committed a crime, do you think I would hand them over to a detective the second he shows up? Besides, look at them. What do you notice?
They're loose and stretched.
That's right, someone else. Someone larger than me has worn these. They're stretched out, especially at the waist. It's pretty obvious.
So, let's see. Somebody stole them to use in their boggy costume, and then put them back in your bag when they were done?
If you say so. It's not my job to know all the details. It's my job to sell souvenirs. Do you want a souvenir?
Oh, my, yes, but only if you choose one for me.
You look like you could use something to wind up. You can take this one. This was taken near the forest at the back of the swamp, correct?
Yes, I think so.
The water is really clear back there. The legs of this thing are reflected in the bottom half of the photo. It's a nice shot, actually.
A reflection? Oh, yeah, of course. A reflection in the water.
I have no idea what that... Where are you These hats look pretty stupid. Luckily, kids seem to like stupid stuff.
You sell a lot of them?
Yeah, they're pretty popular. I always thought it was weird that his feet are in that little bucket all the time.
It's just part of the character, I guess. I'm surprised they don't sell some sort of boggy foot soaker.
And that would be the one product I'd consider buying. Is that one of your clues? I have no idea what that is. Where are you keeping all... Is that one of your clues? I have no... Where are you keeping all this stuff? Is that one of your clues? I have no idea what that is. Where are you keeping all... Is that one of your clues?
Her. I don't know why she still works here, to be honest. One murder is one murder too many.
Is that one of the other suspects? They're more suspicious than me. Let's agree on that. Is that your new friend? Sweet. I really don't know what to tell you. Is that one of the other suspects? Is that your new friend? He made sure I always got paid, so I can't say anything bad about him.
You can if you like. He won't hear you.
You should have more respect for the dead.
I know.
I can't help you with that.
I was told Remington left the cafe looking ill last night. Since you seem to be completely in charge of all the food and drink around here, I'm afraid this is something I can't ignore.
He was an old man. His health wasn't perfect. But I'm not arguing with you. I think it is suspicious. What do you think caused it?
What do I think caused it? A bog dog he ate at the cafe gave him food poisoning.
I keep all my food locked in the storeroom when I'm not here. You think he was poisoned?
I think he was poisoned.
Poisoned by me?
The storeroom was broken into with a lockpick.
A lockpick? I've never encountered a problem like this before. But since last night, am I in a position to doubt a claim like that?
Somebody knew that Remington would eat a bog dog. He ate one every day, right?
Do you suppose this explains the missing bottles of swamp juice as well?
I think it's time I went to talk to Officer James.
So, Actually, this is a classic example of a cryptid photograph.
What's a cryptid?
A creature unknown to science. Look at the slight blurring in this photo, the murky exposure. It's perfect.
It's perfect because it can't really be used as evidence?
Now you're catching on. This is just a piece of junk they sell to tourists. It has no resemblance to the real creature. A good example of how Boggy's feet are never shown in any form. They often use that little red bucket to hide them. Is that the missing page of the journal?
I think so.
It's an important artifact. It belongs in a museum.
Yeah, you're not wearing the right hat to be saying that.
I've never seen that before, and I never want to see it again. I have no interest in something. You're wasting your precious time. So, you found it. I wonder who else knows about it. I've never seen that before. I have no interest in something like... This person is of no interest to me whatsoever. Oh, yes, I know him. He occasionally asks me about the history and biology of the swamp creature. I explained to him what the real Boggy looks like and how they changed his appearance for the cartoon character.
Why did he ask about that?
Because some people are naturally curious. You should give it a try sometime.
The water is black and deep. My favorite kind.
You finally returned. Well, did you find the swamp creature? Where is he?
I didn't find him.
What? You're not getting paid to wander about aimlessly, Grimoire. Get back out there.
I don't need to.
Why not? I thought he was our prime suspect.
Not anymore.
Didn't you find photographic evidence of Boggy from last night? Let me see that photo. If that's not Boggy, what is it?
I found designs for the costume in a trash can. Not only that, I collected all the pieces of the costume myself. Well, nearly all of them. There's still the one that...
But the footprints at the scene of the crime! How can you prove these don't belong to a real creature? What's this? I thought there were no records of a footprint anywhere.
No public records. The footprints at the crime scene don't match the ones on this page. They were just a product of these slippers. A part of the costume.
But Grimoire, this costume, it doesn't have claws of any kind. How do you explain the 3 wounds on the victim's chest?
The prongs match up with the wounds perfectly. The handle's even covered in slime, see?
But this swamp slime was one of the reasons Boggy became a suspect in the first place. Surely this only incriminates the creature further.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But that slime, it's not exactly what you think. This stuff is an uncanny resemblance to the so-called swamp slime. A bunch of it was stolen from the storeroom of the cafe, which reminds me.
What is that, exactly?
A poisoned hot dog. It's the second reason that the murderer broke into the storeroom. He put this green powder on the entire supply, just to make sure.
To make sure of what?
To make sure Remington got ill and had to return to his office.
Remington went back to his office? Alone? I've been looking through your evidence, Grimoire. One piece in particular seems critical to me. I think we need to work out...
Video footage? Vincent Vanderpeer filmed it last night, at the exact moment of the murder, I believe.
Well, exactly. I think we can both agree these sounds in the background. They're essential in our mystery. Could you talk me through them? Just rearrange the descriptions on the left to match the sounds on the right. Drag them around and keep swapping until you're happy with the order. And if you want to hear the sounds again, you can tap on them.
No problem. I can always check my case file if I want to go over my notes. I think that's it.
Ah, excellent. There's just two small details bothering me. First of all, if Remington ripped off a piece of his curtains, why wasn't it found at the crime scene? What happened to it?
Turns out the murderer took that piece of fabric and concealed it inside the head of the costume. Then he fled the crime scene to hide all the parts in different areas of the swamp.
Ah, well, that's my problem. If Remington fired his rifle, how did the assailants survive and manage to escape? Did Remington miss his target?
At point blank? A man of his experience? I don't think so. In fact, the answer to that question is the very last link in our chain. The one thing that has eluded me so far. I'll drag the clue items from the left onto my drawing here, and we'll see what happens when we compare the pieces I collected with the original design I found.
Wait! You never found the body piece! The torso!
You're right, and I never would have found it. Not lying around. Not like the others.
But what does this have to do with the murderer surviving the rifle shot?
This torso is probably made up of some thick material, something covering the culprit's entire upper body. I believe it may have even been enough to
soften the impact from a bullet! Aha!
Exactly.
Well, let's put your theory to the test. Where is that last piece of the costume? But how? We looked everywhere. Not a single clue.
Simple. He's still wearing it.
I don't know what you want with me. Sounds like you two were smart enough to uncover the real criminal in this swamp, and lucky enough to have somebody else deal with him for you. You worked it out. He had his rifle on him. He got half a glance at me and pulled the trigger without hesitation.
But why would he do that? You were dressed as Buggy. He shouldn't be pointing his gun at a unique scientific specimen, not to mention his main attraction.
You're right. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, does it? Not unless you're in on the secret. The hunting photo leads me to believe Richard Remington was here to hunt Boggy. A secret society, an order of hunters, seeking out mysterious and elusive creatures.
The order goes further than this one man, and much further than this one swamp.
The whole thing is kind of distressing. I knew something was wrong as soon as I stepped into that office.
I'm glad you've finally come around. It's not just
But what about Remington? He was a member of this order?
He made Boggy his own personal project, his own obsession. For years he hunted the creature, the potential perfect addition to his collection.
But he owned the tourist attraction. He set it up himself, didn't he?
He did. It was just his way of forming a legal loophole. Since the area became protected, he and his friends were unable to come here for hunting anymore. Boggy's Bog was just a front for his own little game. A man pursuing a creature.
A creature that might not even exist.
And that's why Remington kept a rifle nearby at all times?
Well, exactly. He didn't want to take any chances.
Now, don't you see? I did this place a service. Did Boggy a service. That creature, he can live in peace again.
Can he? You tried to frame him for murder. You wanted everyone to think he was some kind of ruthless predator?
Well, think about it. Once he became suspected of murder, they'd have no choice but to shut this whole place down. Everyone would finally realize they had no business here.
How can you know what Boggy wanted? He might not be what you're...
Detective.
It's
finished. Well, don't be angry. You should be glad. It's finally time to leave the swamp. You have another job to do.
I don't know.
Not that it makes any difference to somebody like you, but I never intended to kill him. Just to scare him. Convince him Boggy wasn't going to let him live here in peace any longer. But, true to form, he had his rifle on him. You worked out the rest yourself.
It makes a difference.
Well, Mr. Everstone, I'm afraid you'll still have to come with us. Fortunately, there's a police station just a few miles down the...
Hey, wait! Aha!
Looks like you solved more than one mystery tonight.
Grimoire.
Well, what did they decide to do?
We had Mr. Everstone questioned. He was happy to tell us everything he knew. A number of rumors going around the department have been confirmed.
And Remington's office?
Searched down to the last detail. And, well, we agree with you. But I know what you're thinking. I'd love to put an end to it, just the same as you. But there's always...
Are we going after them?
We'd better be.